Hey guys, welcome to the show Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. We provide the tools, you do the work. I'm running a little bit late tonight. I'm having a little trouble, some technical issues. And right now, I'm not showing that I'm on. So if you guys can see me and hear me, leave a comment. I'm not sure if my stream is lagging today or what's going on, but I had a little trouble getting on and I tried to do some things and then I deleted my broadcast that I was going to do and had to make a new one. So, okay, Joe says you can hear and see me. This is weird what's going on. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to pop in so I can see and hear you guys, but it's not in there yet. So I'm just going to move forward. Thanks, Joe. Oh, Donna's here. Hey, Donna. Nice of you to make it. So I have this app that I can use for my cell phone to go through the computer, and I had it all set up. And well, I thought I had it set up, and and so when Donna's going to call in around 9:30 when we get done with some preliminary stuff, or maybe a little sooner when we get caught up, and then I'm probably just going to put it on the speakerphone and let you guys listen to her that way. Hey, Donna. Yeah, thank you for that, Joe, because I'm still not showing on my screen here that I'm on. So I don't know what the holdup is or what the deal is, but I'll figure it out later. So sometimes this happens, but it has never taken this long to show that I'm on or whatever. So if you guys can hear me, we're going to just move forward with the program. As soon as we get everything all lined up here. So today we're going to talk about, we have a couple of team members that are going to call in and share their story with us and how they were feeling before they found me and how they're feeling now. And I'm just going to let them talk and tell their own story. So thanks, Ray K. Okay, nice. So Donna's going to call in, and then Jen is going to call in also. And Jen blocked the sale of her property as well. And, we don't know what they're going to do next, but I'll take some questions near the end, Joe. So just hang on a minute because I get distracted. I won't get everything said. So I'll take some questions at the end. So if anybody has questions, we'll have some time for questions at the end of the stream. Or maybe even before. Who knows? Okay, we're going to talk about the strategy, how to stop the state court case. I want to just reiterate that. We're also going to do a quick update on my sister's case. Hold on one second. But first, I need you guys to subscribe to my channel so I can get closer to that big money. Because when I get to that big money, I'm going to reduce my prices even more. So if you guys, I need a whole bunch of subscribers. So if you guys just subscribe to my channel and click on those ads, because those ads actually help me get paid right now from the ads being placed on my channel. So my goal is to get rich from YouTube and help a bunch of people Can I say punch attorneys in the face? He's saying no. Okay, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Also, please click on those ads because the income from those ads help me feed my puppy. She likes to eat a lot of steak and crab legs. She's in the other room right now. She's busy. So the update on my sister's case, we found a new lawsuit. We filed the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit. We filed the one that's in the online course. I have two of them. The one that's in the online course is different than the one that's posted on my website. So, and one is, I actually have the one for the online course for people who don't really want to take the course but want the firepower, and it's posted on my Sam's Cart website. So, if anybody's interested in that, let me know and I'll send you the link over to that. So my sister's case, we have them backed up in the court now. We filed our 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit against them, and I upgraded that package that's in the online course, and I added their real estate deed fraud to the package because that is the beginning of all of this stuff. And so far, the attorney that we added to the federal lawsuit that was representing his friend attorney in federal court without a license to be in federal court, we added him to the lawsuit. He's the only one that's responded, and he responded with a bunch of blah, 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 blah. He keeps talking about all the stuff that was going on in state court and all of this. Well, we're not talking about that. He wants to talk about the judge and the payments and that and stuff. No, now we're talking about the due process violations and them obstructing the administration of justice and a few other things. That's what's on the table now. He did not mention anything that we put in our So I don't know. I'm just kind of holding off a few days. I don't like to make a decision when I'm grumpy. And I'm a little grumpy that it keeps snoring my sister. So we're gonna decide what we're gonna do with that. I'm thinking probably I'm going to move to dismiss his response and maybe file for summary judgment. That'll really get him going because he didn't respond to anything that we put in the paper, and so that was interesting. And he can't. If anybody who's seen that the new document that's in the online course would know it is the bomb. So we're just waiting right now. We're going to probably next week, we're going to refile our restraining order. Now, those of you who have the restraining order, you need to remove the permanent injunction part of it out of the restraining order, because that was the reason why they dismissed. Well, that's what they said was the reason why they dismissed my restraining order, and they allowed them to sell my sister's house. And it's kind of funny because they dismissed it on Thursday, sent her the paper on Friday, and the house sold on Friday. So they already had it all timed out together how they were going to do it all and everything, but they didn't count on us coming at them again. And you know what? We can even file in state court if we wanted to. We can file lawsuits in all the courts and listen to him whine, because that's all he was doing. And it's kind of interesting how the attorneys make a big deal about how the judge gave them a judgment and all of this, but he failed to mention that the judge terminated the case when the judge got sued, and the judge is still being sued, and so they have no right to keep trying to take her house based off of the judge's decision that terminated the case and is now being sued. So that's what we got on that. We're going to keep you guys updated. My sister, there's a redemption period of a year. So we're not really in a big giant hurry, but when we file the restraining order, I'm going to request that the judge order them to stand down and that they reset the redemption period clock. Now, here's some interesting things. A few people have done some homework that know my sister, and her house, the internet is not showing that her house was sold. So We don't know if they're screwing with us and actually it doesn't matter. And this is what I told her when she mentioned to me that they sneaked around. It doesn't matter what they did because we're still going to sue them. We hadn't even used the 42 U.S.C. 1983 civil rights lawsuit. Yeah, we was messing with them with some other stuff. Yeah, but now we got it in their face. So we're going to see how they respond. And we're also going to file a restraining order sometime next week to get control of this situation. So the first lawsuit that we filed I don't know if I think I remember telling you guys, I filed a supplemental pleading instead of an amended complaint. Now they claim that we didn't state a claim, so we stated a claim, but we stated a claim in a supplemental pleading, which you can do under Rule 15, I think. And in order to do a supplemental pleading, you have to either add a party or add counts, and those party and the counts have to be connected to the original reason why you're there. So, and there was no time limit on that. So they were all ready to dismiss my stuff and all of that. And then I stuck the supplemental pleading in their face. They actually had already sent us the documents to dismiss our supplemental pleading, and the judge accepted it. So I think they jumped a little bit ahead of the gun. So now we got 2 lawsuits in their face. And I think we have five or six defendants. So I've been real busy. But we keeping up pretty thinking good. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. And like I said, we don't have any proof that my sister's house was sold. A lot of times they tell you this. Well, you already know the basic way to tell when a bar member is lying is to check and see if his mouth or her mouth is moving. So, we're not even worried about that because when we get the restraining order filed, and the other thing that you guys should be doing is putting together your less pendants, because the less pendants lien against the property blocks them from moving forward and ignoring your stuff. So that's one thing I want to throw out there for everybody to jump on. Now let's talk about the strategy for the state court real quick. One thing I want to tell you guys is the affidavit of state citizenship is not what people think it is. Now, it would be powerful if they followed the rules or the law or followed anything, but they don't. The reason I put that in there is because some people were being harassed by the popo after they stuck this stuff in their face. So when you complete the process and you have your state citizenship, you have your passport card showing that you're a state citizen of the Republic state you're born in, or a birth certificate or something to show that you're a state citizen of another country or you belong to another planet or whatever. People get this all twisted up and overthink it. The goal here is to let them know you're not a U.S. citizen. Okay, that's what we're shooting for here, to let them know that you're not a U.S. citizen. Now, this document has nothing to do. It's not going to help you stop the foreclosure. Okay, now it should, because the court don't have jurisdiction without an injured party if you're not a U.S. citizen. But there's a lot of things that should happen, but they don't because of the fraud. So don't waste your time trying to put that document together when you're about to get shoved off the edge of the cliff. Get the documents filed that I mentioned in the instructional video. And I have people call me, okay, so what if this is an administrative process? Can I add it now? No, if I thought any of that stuff was important, it would be added in there. So I think people need to remember that in order for you to understand everything that I have put together, it would take the length of time it took me to learn all this stuff. So I'm just saying. So the strategy, you need to stop the court process. What we've been doing is we've been taking the lawsuit and we've been changing the heading to file in state court. You add the judge and the attorney as plaintiffs to their own lawsuit, and you file it in state court as a counterclaim. And you shouldn't have to pay to do that. And the reason you're doing that is because when you add the judge and you add the attorney that signed to start this mess, when you add them to their own lawsuit, it creates a problem for them because they can't represent themselves. They can't litigate against their party to. and they're not supposed to be able to represent their friends that are working in the same law firm. So, and the reason you're doing this is just to stop that case, to get yourself out on the 50-yard line so you can throw some passes to the end zone. That's why we're doing it. You do that to get them off of your back and make them go scurry around and try to figure out what the hell they need to be doing while you're getting your lawsuit filed in federal court. And then once your lawsuit is filed in federal court, you have a removal document in there. You can remove the state case, the eviction case or the state case, whatever. You can remove it over to federal court. And I would connect it as evidence to your lawsuit to show that, because remember, now the problem is that they violated your due process, obstructed the administration of justice, they violated the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, and I could go on and on, but I won't. So that's the problem now after the fact. So you need to make sure that you are able to keep them on what the problem is and not let them slide back over to the alleged missing payments like the dude's trying to do in our case. So, and we're not gonna allow that to happen. So, Joe, I got a few minutes before Donna's going to call. So we'll go ahead and take the questions now. If you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in, and then I'll put them on the screen so we can take a look at them, and then see if we can answer them. And if anybody else has any questions, go ahead and send them over here. Type them in so I can see them. And there's my email address in case anybody has any questions about what package they need for their situation or whatever. You can send me an email or even a text message, and then I'll get back to you when I can. Hey, welcome to the show tonight, Dylan. Glad you can make it. We're about ready to take some questions now. So if you have any questions, go ahead and send them over to me, and I'll put them on the screen, and then we'll figure out an answer to them or something. No, Joe, I wouldn't do that. You don't need to. The only reason that you're filing the counterclaim is to blow up their case. So we don't want to do any more work than we have to. So I wouldn't worry about that. If you so to answer your question, here's the answer to your question. The more people you add, the more work you're going to have to do when they start responding, because each person is going to come at you and you're going to have to respond to each person's stuff. And if you're late or miss or whatever, then they're going to be moving and have the whole thing dismissed. That's how they do it. So, I would suggest to put the least amount of people on there as possible. Now, we used to just go with 3, but when you're looking at the eviction process or whatever, sometimes it's good to add the buyer and the buyer's new attorney or whatever you have to do to get control of that situation. So you can decide yourself, but make sure that your decision is not based on your emotions, because a lot of people get emotionally wrapped up, and then their emotions are making the decisions. And usually, when you make emotional decisions, that's usually not a real good one. I'm just saying. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys, to make sure that if you add extra people. Now, one of the things that I do is I always reserve the right to amend. And that way you don't have to come in with 15 people, or you reserve the right to amend according to what evidence suggests, because you never know how many people you may have to add or whatever if they ever got to the evidence. I don't think anybody's got to do the evidence yet. But I would be real cautious about adding too many people. But you want to make sure that you get control of the situation. So that's going to be up to you. If they add more attorneys to the complaint, it don't. So for me, if I'm going after the attorney who signed, whoever signed to come after you to take your stuff, that's who I target. So I don't know what you mean by them adding more attorneys or whatever. So I don't know. You're going to have to make your call on that yourself. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you have the main attorney and the law firm, or if you have all 14 attorneys. It doesn't really matter if you're suing the law firm too, because the law firm encompasses everybody. So I don't know, that's how I see it. But I think you're overthinking it, to be honest, because you only need to have whatever attorney's trying to take your stuff on it. You don't need to have a bunch of extra attorneys or whatever. So, and then I don't know if they add attorneys to the complaint. Why would they do that unless attorneys sitting down, or they paid some other attorney to help them? I don't know, but that's how I would do that. Donna, are you still with us? I'm going to go ahead and have you call in if you would, and I'm going to put the phone on speaker because I haven't figured out how to. I had it working last week once, but I don't know what happened to it. I haven't figured out how to set it so I can hear my phone through the computer. So apparently there's another setting that I need to look at, but I didn't have time to find it before it was time to rock and roll. So we're going to just do it the way we need to do it. Hello, Donna. How are you? Hang on a second here. Let me see this. Yeah, I got you on speakerphone. I was having trouble with the settings and having the sound from my phone go through my computer. So I just got you on a speakerphone here, and I'm hoping everybody's going to be able to hear you.
Okay, great.
Can you guys hear Donna? Go ahead and start talking, Donna, so they can hear you, so we can see if they hear you.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Can you guys hear Donna?
Hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Joe said we can hear you.
Okay, great. Great.
So, tell us about how you felt, Donna, before you found me, and what was your emotional state before you found us, and how did that go?
Yeah, I was very distraught. I didn't know where to turn. The courts were just like, pushing me around, and I was in despair. I happened to see your ad on TikTok, and that's how I found you. I got the 42 USC packet, filed my paperwork at the end of February, like around February 24th. This week, we just had the court to address that. The plaintiff filed a motion to dismiss, and that's when I called you, like I texted you all excited, like, the plaintiff's attorney was very dismissive,
So why did they move to dismiss it?
Well, they were filing a motion to dismiss because they just they were saying that it was like frivolous. They were saying,
they're trying to dismiss your motion.
My motion.
Okay.
Yeah, my motion. Yeah, my counterclaim that I filed in the state court. They were trying to dismiss that. So that was the reason for the court this week. And the plaintiff's attorney, she was very she was almost laughing as she recounted the items that I had listed, and she asked the judge to please, dismiss my counterclaim, and the judge was like, okay, yeah, I think I've heard enough. And then he was like, wait a minute, I can't do anything. I'm listed as a party to this case. I can't do anything. So just the look, I just wish that everyone could have just seen the look on their faces, because it was a virtual court case, and it was just golden. Oh, they were just, he was flustered. She was just like, but judge, can't you just, and he's like, no, I can't. My hands are tied. So they hurried up and refiled. But considering, the amount of time it's going to take, my home is scheduled for foreclosure sale June 4th. I don't think that's going to happen now. They're just flustered and trying to run around and figure out what they're going to do next.
So what got dismissed, Donna? Or what did they say about it?
They basically said they could not do anything because the judge couldn't make a ruling because he was a party on the case. He was one of the defendants, so he couldn't do anything. So it was priceless. It really was.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. And in my program, you guys will learn how to use the court stuff against them.
Mm-hmm.
So have they refiled yet, Donna?
They did. They refiled the very next day, so Wednesday. Yeah, they refiled.
So this is kind of cool because Donna did this. All she did was the counterclaim. She had a death in the family from someone very close to her, so she kind of got a little bit, off the track as far as getting the other stuff filed and jumping over there and doing that. But she didn't really need to. Well, now she needs to finish up because they have no idea what she has planned for them. Well, great job, Donna. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. You're an amazing teacher, and I just can't wait to learn and see what else we can do to them.
I love it. One of the things that I tell people after they enroll in the course or after they even invest in a package or whatever is that I'm going to teach you how to have some fun. So that's one of the things that I tell people. And the lady that sent me the picture of her family out in front of her house, like 26 members of her family standing out in front of her house, giving me the high five, waving and holding up a beer and coffee and stuff. Yeah, that lady, she did the same thing. She stopped her everything, and I don't know where. I haven't heard from her, so I'm assuming they went and sat the hell down, or at least they're recalculating or figuring out what they're going to do next or whatever. So Donna, what's your next move?
My next move is to file the other code 42.
Yeah. Well, it's actually the same one, but you just got to change the heading on the top to reflect the federal court, and you got to change the names around because you're the plaintiff here. You're the plaintiff when you pay to have it filed. Anyway, in my program, you're no longer the defendant. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Joe has a question here, Donna. He's asking, what stage of the case were you at when you found? Well, she's not in my course, Joe. She bought the 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package I upgraded both packages. I upgraded the one on my website and I upgraded the one that's in the online course. And the one that's in the online course is considerably different with more power. But yeah, the one that's in the package has enough power to get it done as a counterclaim.
Exactly.
So what stage were you in? What stage of the case were you at when you found me, Donna?
It was before. Well, it was before they It was pretty late in the game. It was right before they set a sell date.
And are you in judicial or non-judicial?
Non-judicial.
Non-judicial. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. That's a good. I wouldn't really call it a win, but that's a good stop. We'll call it a stop. Because the people in non-judicial really get the shaft, and a lot of people uh, wait to hear from the court or whatever. And by the time that happens, you're in the eviction process, and you're thinking, AOL. Yeah, I was feeling pretty excited too, Joe, when she called me and we started talking, and I called her back. I was like almost in tears too because I was so excited. So yeah, these little wins like that are huge to me. Also.
Yeah, it's very powerful to be able to go from um, the position that I was in before your course.
A defendant. You were a defendant.
Yeah, they really, they were so accustomed to, you're sitting there in court and you're listening to case after case after case, waiting to call your name, and they really just, push you around and, dismiss. Oh, they really, but my case went different. My case was like, wait a minute, wait, we gotta, adjourn here. We can't, go forward. This is not gonna happen. This can't happen. We gotta try to find out. They were scrambling, and I'm sure everyone else that was on the call there was probably happy for me too. There needs to be called because they were like, wait a minute, what just happened? They're all like, yeah. So
cool.
that was great.
Well, I sure appreciate you taking the time to call in and tell everybody how things went. Joe says you should get a recording of that hearing at the courthouse. Yeah, Joe, I'm pretty sure they lost that thing. Yeah, that would be a great video. But you know what? I'm just happy to have her call in. That's enough. I don't really spend a lot of time trying to prove, myself or that my stuff works or whatever, because for those people, they're not close enough to the fire, or they have a better plan. But I appreciate you calling in, Donna. And maybe Jen is going to call in too. Jen, if you're listening, you could call in too if you want to. And anybody else that bought a package or whatever, you're welcome to call in and talk about how things went for you. Even if you don't think they went well or you're grumpy, there's other people are kind of grumpy because I didn't hold their hand, kind of, sort of. But anyway, I'm cool if you want to call in and talk about your experience with my product or my program or whatever. I'll certainly put you on the air because I'm not filtering out anything. I want it all to be right there on the table, and that's how I roll. Thank you, Donna. You keep us posted now, okay?
I will. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I got to get this thing figured out so I can have her come through the speakers and stuff. I'll be working on that tomorrow. So it takes. I'm kind of elderly. It takes me a minute to figure some stuff out, but I can do it. Joe says, "Thank you, Donna, for sharing. I really appreciate it. It's nice to hear somebody else talking instead of me talking crap. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice to hear someone else talking, just a normal person that stepping up to the plate, that's willing to do whatever it takes. That's what we got. So Donna's definitely on the A team. And there are a lot of other people that are doing a good job too. Dylan says good job for her. Yeah, she's pretty excited, and so am I. But it's not over because they're still over there. So so my question is, I wonder what judge is going to be in a hurry to step up and stick their foot in this pile of, I'm not going to say that, and this pile of mud. Yeah, it makes my day. Just one person to get a stop is huge. So, and we've got 3 last week, I think 3. Yep. I got a call from another person that is in the same position, and the sale got stopped. But that person was pretty private and didn't really want to, go on the show or whatever. And they're like, oh no, dude, I understand. I understand. I don't, and I'm not going to take it personal because your privacy is your privacy, and I understand that. I totally understand. And it's not that big a deal to me. I mean, I appreciate you coming in if, whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to miss any sleep because someone wanted to maintain their privacy, because I'm all for that. I know what's going on, and so that's all I need. Some attorneys are getting their butt smashed, and I can say that. Okay, they're kind of on the fence with that one. My legal team gets grumpy if I if I say the wrong thing. And I don't usually say the wrong thing, do I? They're shaking their head, yes. Okay. I might need them someday, so I need to be nice to them, and I need to try and respect them, right? Okay, sorry. Never mind. Don't answer that. Okay, guys, that's all the value I'm bringing to the table tonight. I want to thank you guys for the privilege of sharing your time. And if there's anybody else that would like to talk on the show about their experience, please let me know, and we'll set up a time and get you on here so everybody can hear. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you on the next stream.